I know it's gonna be traffic when I get
You're
home.
about to go home, girl. Just
No,
hold on.
I have that internship
Oh,
after until like
on
9.
campus?
20 seconds, y'all. Here we go.
Oh.
Yeah, can you hear me all the way up there? Go ahead and get your mics if possible. Mics if possible.
Early voting is about to begin in Texas. It has already begun in some states across the nation.
And UNT students want transport to set up. NT Daily starts now.
From the Mayborn School of Journalism at the University of North Texas, this is NT Daily News.
Good afternoon, I'm Maria Garcia.
And I'm Crystal Prentice. Election Day is less than a month away and early voting begins next week here in Texas.
And tonight, the two candidates for Senate face off in the only statewide debate. Ted Cruz and Colin O'Rahey will appear together at the studio of WFFA TV here in Dallas.
Early voting is already underway in several other states around the country. In Hampton, Virginia, community groups walked voters to the polls for an early session on Sunday. In Virginia, the online registration deadline is Tuesday, but you can register in person through November 5th. Some tips from officials: check your registration status before you go, bring identification, and if you see something wrong, say something. Over in Georgia, voters line up as early voting begin. Since voting in 2020, new state laws tightened rules for absentee ballots and limited the number of outdoor drop boxes. Early voting in Georgia runs through November 1st.
Early voting will be available in the Gateway Center for students who are registered in Denton County. With 40,000 plus students on campus, not everyone is registered in Denton County, so it's important that student voters know where they are going to vote.
I'm going to be voting on campus.
On campus? I'll be voting off campus.
I'm going to be voting off campus because I'm registered in Collin County.
I mean, there are definitely some issues that are more important than others, but I do think it's more of like an overall issue, so multiple issues.
I'd say there's multiple issues, but I do have a main one, which would probably be education, just making sure that current and future students can afford to go to college.
The two issues that are most important to me is abortion rights, as well as the war in Palestine and Israel.
A recent Pew Research study showed more young people tend to register as Democrats. The Harvard University Yale poll conducted early this year showed young people focus on concern for a ceasefire in the Middle East, alongside many of the same economic concerns voiced by older voters. DCTA buses are a cost-effective way for thousands of UNT students to get to class, but many students are happy with the reliability of the bus lines. Morty Bradshaw reports.
For UNT students like Taylor Beavers, who rely on buses to get to class and work, a late bus can cause panic. That was Taylor's reality a few weeks ago.
It may be between 35 to 40 people all waiting for the bus. But there was a bus sitting right there, but there was no driver in it. That's when I heard some people talking about they'd been sitting on that bus for about an hour, hour and a half. And I was asking around and they were like, yeah, the driver's been gone.
The Student Government Association president says,
the best way to improve transportation is to give them more funding.
UNT students pay $3.50 per credit hour to fund bus services at UNT. This averages around $50 per semester. Raising transportation funding would raise the fees students pay in their tuition.
I feel like they could get it from somewhere else, right?
Personally, I didn't even know how much we pay for that. So if we was to even go up, it's not like something like that's a huge difference.
SGA is holding town halls where students can ask about the issue.
I want to emphasize that we're not trying to trick the students in any way into paying more. We want to make sure we have their buy-in before we even do anything going forward.
Taylor just hopes the buses will be more reliable in the future.
It would be bittersweet. Sucks you have to pay more, but ultimately I think it would be more beneficial.
Reporting for NT Daily News, I'm Marty Bradshaw.
Last month, DCTA shut down the Parking Express B and Mean Green UNT bus routes.
Seeing those aisles and aisles of candy in the stores, the National Retail Federation says their survey predicts we'll spend about $11.6 billion on treats, candy, and scary displays before the Halloween season wraps up. That's going to fall short of last year's $12+ billion. Still, that averages out to more than $100 per person. The main drivers of all that spending besides candy, costumes, and those crazy outdoor decorations. SpaceX accomplished another major milestone, definitely a big step towards space exploration from right there in Texas. NT Daily continues after the break.
Looking to open a free checking or savings account but don't know where to start? Check out DATQ Credit Union right here on campus. Get your Mean Green debit card instantly or apply for a DATQ Visa credit card today. Your school, your card. Plus, make deposits at their 24/7 ATM, checks or cash whenever you need it. Make sure to sign up for DATQ's online banking platform and mobile app for easy access anytime, anywhere. Visit them at www.datq.org to learn more. DATQ, the official financial institution of UNT Athletics.
Craving something fresh, flavorful, and made just for you? Look no further than Avesta, your go-to destination for a delicious, full-service dining experience. Dive into our customizable omelets, expertly crafted by our talented cook Jonathan, who guarantees every bite is perfection. All our dishes are handmade, prepared with only the freshest ingredients. Explore our assembly line where you can choose from any of our globally inspired dishes or customize your plate. It's that easy. And let's not forget dessert. Indulge your sweet tooth with treats from Clark Bakery. With convenient payment methods including card or flex, it's the perfect dining spot for any occasion. Quench your thirst with our wide selection of drinks. Just hand your drinking card to our friendly waiter, and they'll bring your beverage of choice right to your table. When you're done savoring every last bite, our attentive staff will whisk away your tray. Enjoy the peaceful ambiance as you dine in, or use our takeout option for a meal on the go. Avesta.
Willis Library, located at the University of North Texas. It has computers, printers, and the building is open 24/7. By going online, you can book up to an hour of reserved space in one of the many private study rooms. Many of them are equipped with whiteboards, a table, and a TV to hook up to your computer. Textbooks can be checked out for free with a student ID. They also have many of these in ebook forms. This is still a library, so always remember to be quiet and respectful of other surroundings, especially in certain places where talking is not allowed. For example, the 3rd and 4th floor are completely quiet. As you can see, Willis Library has many options for students, with it offering many media sources and staying open all the time.
There's no harm in wanting to have fun while in college, but it's easy to lose track of how much you've had. Apps like Drink Control and Alkadroid can help keep track of your consumption and blood alcohol levels. If you or someone else does drink too much, the signs of alcohol poisoning are as follows: pale skin, vomiting, confusion, low body temperatures, irregular breathing, blacking out, and it's hard to wake up or cannot be woken up.
Dude, are you okay? Hey, what's wrong? Wake up.
It's an exciting time of year, but it's important to be responsible. If you suspect someone is suffering from alcohol poisoning, get help immediately. You will not get in trouble for seeking help if you are underage. For more info and resources, go to UNT's Division of Student Affairs.
A major step forward for space travel right here in Texas. SpaceX's Starship rocket, the most powerful rocket ever built, completed its 5th test flight in dramatic fashion. SpaceX planned to return Super Heavy directly to its launch mount. The chopstick arms of the launch tower caught the booster. No one was on board, but the flight is another milestone towards building a totally reusable rocket system. A global aerospace company's big decision after massive financial losses. Production remains held to as strict by Mechanic enters its 5th week. Now the company plans to borrow $10 billion from various banks. They also aim to raise $25 billion by selling stock and debt. Last week, Boeing's new CEO announced plans to cut 10% of its worldwide staff of 171 workers.
Trash is washing up on Florida's beaches after Hurricane Milton. On Palm Beach, large blocks of yellow construction foam are everywhere you look. People started to notice the increase in trash last Friday. Volunteers with one beach conservation group spent the weekend cleaning up the beach, filling up more than 100 bags of trash.
Foam in general does not disintegrate for hundreds of years. So this is going to continue to break up and be in our water, be in our air even, which is insane. Our marine life is going to continue to consume it, and also we are when we go enjoy the ocean.
County crews have also been out clearing debris since the recent storms. Hurricane Milton ripped across Florida. Many paid attention to evacuation warnings, but a string of tornadoes brought an unpredictable danger. Reporter Lily Ortiz has the story of one special woman on how her warning saved a family.
An embrace brings tears of joy for Brandy Clark as she meets the woman who she claims went above and beyond to alert her family about a dangerous twister approaching their street last Wednesday in the Lakewood Park area of Fort Pierce.
She saved our lives. And no matter how much she won't accept it, you really did.
Just an old lady who got really, really scared.
And we just got blessed by her. Just had a tornado.
Before Michelle Westfield's warning, Brandy and her husband Billy were outside, recording this video of the storm's downpours.
And all of a sudden, she reversed her car and her tires were squealing and she was just taking off backwards. No sooner than he shuts the door behind me, I grab my kids and we're still standing in the middle of the living room and my house just started shaking.
And I'm truly blessed. I mean, right there. It's all.
This couple points to the path of destruction caused by the tornado. Nearby is the Spanish Lakes community, where dozens of homes were leveled, causing some deaths. They took to social media over the weekend to find the unidentified woman who told them to seek shelter, and the replies helped make this special meeting possible.
It was right there, and I'm like, I'm driving into a tornado. I'm just a woman who was terrified, and I'm so glad that my terror helped somebody. I was supposed to be driving in that moment to get you guys inside.
A nightmare led to what may be a lifelong friendship.
And we're gonna barbecue.
Yeah, for sure. Cornhole right here in this driveway.
Yes. Milton's tornadoes were leading causes of death and damage during the storm.
Pharmacy giant Walgreens says 1,200 locations are on the chopping block. Walgreens says it will close 500 stores over the next year, and the closing could continue for the next few years. The pharmacy chain is struggling to compete with online pharmacies. Earlier this year, the chain announced it was closing 300 underperforming stores, but that just wasn't enough. Walgreens reported losing $3 billion in the past 3 months. As the semester rolls on, UNT students need areas to relax and focus on campus. Thomas Phillips reports on different ways students stay focused and relax.
Midterms are underway here at UNT. Students are looking for a quiet place to study for upcoming assignments. We spoke with students to find out where they go on campus to focus and relax in their daily student lives.
Either in the Willis Library, like in front of there. Sometimes I like going to the third floor, but it's been very packed because of exams coming up, so I usually avoid those spots. I think why I go to Wooden Hall the most is, I go there the most mostly because the trees that they have, it's a Mongolian tree, and they had that in my middle school, so, and it just reminds me of my middle school days.
There are many places on the UNT campus for students to relax. Places like the UNT even have great spots like the meditation room where students can wind down.
I really like going in the Union, and I don't really have too much time to stay somewhere because every day I'm really busy because I run track, so in the middle of the day I gotta go to practice and stuff.
I go to the media library. It's on second floor of Willis. I mean, like I've been here for I think 2 years since I transferred. It used to be in Chilton. I used to go there a lot too. Besides that, I guess the Union, just to sit down, eat something, and watch some videos, I guess.
There's no shortages of places to wind down on campus. Thomas Phillips, NT Daily.
This week marks the official middle of the fall semester here at UNT. Have you ever thought about what's on your toothbrush? Turns out it's more than just toothpaste. We'll explain when NT Daily continues.
Good evening, my name is Amanda Hasbell, and I'm joining you here today in the Union Parking Garage. Today we're going to be going over how to drive safely in the parking garage. Let's go see. Oh my God, this girl just got hit by a car. Let's go see what happened. Ma'am, are you okay? Are you okay?
Did you see that lady hit me with a car?
Yeah, we did. I got it all on video.
Oh my God.
Let's go over here and talk about how we can prevent that.
Yeah, not the hospital.
Well, right now we're going to ask you a couple questions on how we can drive safely in the parking lot. What are ways that we can be aware of our surroundings?
Oh, we can look both ways.
Jenna, also, how about putting the distractions away?
Yes, just like our phones, turning our music down, and also not focusing on our passengers.
Where can you get information on how to get a parking pass?
Transportation.unt.edu.
If you park in a garage, make sure you pay on the app or look for further instructions on how you should pay.
And remember, no pass, no park. Let's all try to keep our Mean Green community safe.
Remember, we're all in this together.
Drive safe.
Man, I have all these non-perishable food items and I don't know what to do with them.
I don't have any food at all.
Do you have too many non-perishable goods?
Yeah.
Have you run out of food and can't get any more?
Yeah.
Well, don't have a cow. Head on down to the UNT Food Pantry. Located behind Crumley Hall and Diamond Eagle Student Resource Center, the Food Pantry is the place for UNT students to get all the food they need. You'll be utterly surprised by all the options they have there. From gluten-free to lactose intolerant, even vegan and vegetarian, they have it all. Go to studentaffairs.unt.edu/food pantry for more information.
Move on down to the UNT Food Pantry.
Live from UNT, it's Wheel of Culture.
Welcome back to Wheel of Culture. Our contestant is so close to solving this puzzle. But first, it's time to give the wheel a spin. Wow, you landed on London, one of the many places where you and your fellow students can go on a chance to experience new culture. But only if you can solve this puzzle.
I'd like to solve the puzzle. Study abroad.
That's correct. You just won yourself a trip to study abroad in London, England, and you can too. Just go to studyabroad.unt.edu to see deadlines and apply for scholarships. Get ready to study abroad.
New research has uncovered some little known and never before seen viruses that live on things you probably use every day. Researchers say their microbes could save lives. CNN's Mandy Gather explains.
They're damp and warm and perfect environments for microbes. You may not want to think about the viruses that live on shower heads and toothbrushes, but researchers did it for you.
It's unsurprising that we find them there because we find a bunch of bacteria basically everywhere. But what was surprising is how many different viruses we found and how different they looked from anything that we had ever seen before.
Microbiologist Erica Hartman led a study which found something called bacteriophage all over these two environments. While that sounds bad, she says these are not viruses that make you sick. Instead, they infect bacteria, and these could potentially be used to save lives.
For a long time, we've relied on antibiotics to be able to treat infections and save lives. But right now, antimicrobial resistance is one of the biggest public health challenges that we're facing globally. And so there's a lot of hope that we can leverage things like bacteriophage to help treat these infections that we can no longer treat with antibiotic drugs.
Hartman says the hope is that these phages, or something learned from them, will aid in the development of better drugs or improved biotechnologies.
We need microbes to, in our gut, help us digest our food, on our skin, help us to ward off pathogens. And it's actually a really good thing that we are exposed to microbes from time to time.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Hartman says it's important to continue researching what she calls this next frontier and develop new tools and methods to determine how these microbes work.
Hispanic Heritage Month comes to an end, and the UNT Department of Spanish organized different events to celebrate. Music and dancing was the vibes around campus throughout the month. Celebrated since 1968, Hispanic Heritage Month is an annual celebration to recognize history of the American Latin community. UNT is officially classified as a Hispanic serving institution, which makes the month especially meaningful for our students.
The language makes us bridge those differences a lot easier. So I think that's really cool, and it helps with our American identity as well.
Having this month to celebrate, I think it's just a little bit more special, I guess.
President Lyndon Johnson began the observance, and it was President Reagan who expanded into an entire month.
They're adorable, playful, and highly effective diplomats. Two giant pandas from China arrive at their new home in the Smithsonian National Zoo, as CNN's Amy Kiley reports.
It's time for panda diplomacy. Today, Washington is welcoming two giant pandas from China. They're on loan to the Smithsonian National Zoo for 10 years. The facility is closed to visitors today while the pandas settle in to their new home. Bao Li is a male whose name means precious vigor.
Bao Li has a huge personality, so he's very vocal, he's very energetic, and he's always kind of like up doing something.
Bao Li's mother is a former National Zoo celebrity, and his grandparents lived there for 23 years. He and his petite companion are both 3 years old. Her name is Qing Bao, meaning green treasure.
Qing Bao is the polar opposite. She can be almost always found in a tree or sleeping on her climbing structure.
Panda diplomacy between the U.S. and China dates back more than 50 years, but today's arrivals follow a string of departures as many leases expired. Zoo Atlanta says it sent back its giant pandas Saturday. The National Zoo has a panda exhibit already from Bao Li's grandparents and their cub. Now the exhibit is freshly remodeled and ready for its new guests.
I don't think people realize how attached you get.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
While the pandas in D.C. get settled, enjoy the cute animals on San Diego Zoo's giant panda cam that launched today.
A garden snake finds itself outside of its garden.
Dodgers seen running away scared, much like this game.
And in Dodgers.
Does your club or organization look like this? Well, what if you can make it look like this? Wow!
Hi, Dilly Days here with a special TV offer. NTTV wants to air a promotional video for your club or organization. We air on channels Charter 192 and Frontier 46. Whether you have an idea or not, we want to help you create the perfect promotion that gives you the credit and recognition that you deserve. Our team of professional cinematographers works around the clock to make your promo the best it can be. So contact untpromos@gmail.com today to get started on your promotional adventure. But wait, that's not all. If you email right now, I'll double the offer. What? What do you mean we can't double it?
I love it. We air it tonight.
Success! So a man's been walking in the desert for days at a time. He finally comes across a bar and orders a Coke.
That's not funny.
Eh? Eh?
What's wrong? Are you stuck in your paper?
Pretty much. I haven't written anything in like an hour.
Why don't you check out the Writing Center at UNT?
Well, how do I meet up with them?
All you have to do to make an appointment is visit the Writing Center's website and either call the number or email writingcenter@unt.edu. The appointment is 30 minutes long, and the trained tutors will be able to help with brainstorming, correcting grammar, ensuring clarity, and a wide range of services. They also do walk-in appointments.
That sounds awesome. I'm gonna check them out.
So, when's this paper due?
30 minutes.
For more information, visit the UNT Writing Center's website.
Yeah, it's 6 pages.
Has this ever happened to you?
My bike!
My bike is gone.
Stolen bikes are an epidemic sweeping college campuses across America.
What am I supposed to do?
It's quite simple. The We Mean Green Fund has partnered with the UNT Police Department to offer free bike locks to any UNT student with a bike. Just show up with your bike in tow and ask.
Now I'll never lose my bike ever again.
Enough worrying. Get your bike lock today.
A creepy moment in Dodgers home dugout. Even Hollywood could not breed a better script than this. Snake decides he's one of the players. This all happened during Game 2 of the NLCS, and it's perhaps an omen of what's to come.
Okay, well, how about those Dodgers, guys?
Yes.
While we're on the topic of baseball, the snake was the only thing isn't a problem for the Dodgers. The New York Mets pitcher Edwin Diaz was able to strike out Freddie Freeman to close out the second game of the series as they beat the Los Angeles Dodgers 7-3, tying the series, giving each other one win apiece. They will go back to the East Coast to play Game 3 at Citi Field in New York at 7 o'clock Central Standard Time tomorrow evening. The New York Yankees' eighth-year pitcher Luke Weaver closes out the game as he strikes out Austin Hedges to give him the first win of a 7-game series as they beat Cleveland Guardians 5-2. The Guardians now have a chance to tie this, play them as a Yankee State at 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. On the Detroit Lions' first drive of an absolutely embarrassing performance of a Cowboys-Lions, quarterback Jared Goff hands the ball off to running back David Montgomery for a 6th consecutive touchdown run of the season. The Cowboys then have a chance to take a 10-7 lead late in the first quarter, but Dallas quarterback Dak Prescott throws a touchdown in the end zone. Second quarter decides Crafty Lee run a flea flicker and resulted in a 54-yard touchdown completion. This is Dallas' worst home game since 1988. Cowboys owner Jerry Jones had to say this after the game. Don't have it? Cowboys then have a bye week, then head west to play the 49ers. A blockbuster trade then happens earlier this morning. The Las Vegas Raiders have traded star receiver Davante Adams to reunite with his former quarterback Aaron Rodgers on the New York Jets for a 3rd-round pick that could result in a 2nd. Rodgers and Adams were teammates in Green Bay for 7 years. Adams played his best with Aaron Rodgers as his quarterback. Adams put up all-pro numbers, having 622 catches, 7,590 receiving yards, and 69 touchdowns in 108 games played. With Aaron Rodgers, Adams should be available next Sunday night against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Next week is homecoming week here in UNT on campus. The Mean Green host the Tulane Wave next Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Coming off last week's big finish here in conference title against Florida FAU, the Mean Green are undefeated in conference play and 5-1 overall this week. The Mean Green head to Memphis to play the conference rival Tigers. That's all for sports. Back to Crystal and Maria at the news desk.
Halloween is still a few weeks away. No officers or pumpkins were harmed on Monday after an Ohio police attacked by a Halloween. Oh my gosh. According to posts from the Bay Village Police Department.
Officers were dispatched for a runaway pumpkin. Dashcam video show a large pumpkin inflatable blowing across the road, nearly swallowing 2 officers. Backup officers arrived and the pumpkin was returned to the homeowner.
That's all for this week. I'm Crystal Prentice.
And I'm Maria Garcia, and NT Daily is back again next week.